This is Harley. We're going to do a quick setup on how to set up the 4PK for a superclass rock crawler using dual ESCs and four-wheel steer. First, go ahead and turn on your radio. I've got the model named, and other than that, this setting is completely default. First thing you're going to do, go into menu T for menu type, select it, change it to level 3. Go down to execute, press plus and minus at the same time. It'll give you that complete. Go here, set up your program mixes. First one you're going to do, you're going to set this up to -100. From here, you're going to set your master up to throttle. You're also going to have your slave set at throttle, mode turn to active, mix mode turn to mix. We're going to go down to program mix 2, and we're going to set these values the same way. -100 for both the top and for forward and brake listed on here. You want master set to throttle and slave set to channel 3. Turn mode to active. Mix mode turn to mix. Next, we're going to go ahead and set up your switches. PS1, we're going to have toggle on and off program mix 2. PS2, we're going to have toggle on and off program mix 1. We're going to set these values to the right, to Alt. What this has done is this has set up your mixes so that PS1, which is located on the bottom of your trigger, normally out of the box, I've rotated mine up slightly, so you can depress that button, and when you pull the trigger, you'll get full throttle. Mine are going opposite ways right now. I just need to simply go in, reverse one channel. I will reverse the throttle channel, and that has given me full throttle in the same direction both ways. Channel 1, your top bar, is going to be set up for steering, front steer. The second two will be your ESCs. The second line will be your front ESC, the third one will be your rear ESC, channel 2 and channel 3. So this is giving you regular functions for your MOA. You can do a front dig by pressing PS1, which was on the front of your radio, or bottom of your wheel. So that will be a front dig. Press it again, four-wheel drive. Rear dig, you'll press this button here down on the grip. Press it, and that will give you rear motor only, giving you rear dig. So press it again, full throttle. Now to set up rear steer, we've already used both of our program mixes, so we need to set up rear steer on channel 4, but it's going to be independently operated only. To do that, we're going to go into our dial menu, select dial. We're going to set rear steer up on, it's all up to you, depending on which buttons you want to use. I typically use DT1, which is right here on my radio, for the mixing of my MOA functions, to turn my rear motor up or down. You can use it for your rear steer if you like, or you can use DT1 for your MOA function still, and move rear steer up here to DT3. That's what we're going to do on this one. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn all these values of the DLs, which are the roller switches down here on the bottom. We're going to set those to 0. I'm just going to turn them off so that they're not active right now. If you'd like to control your rear steer here, you can use the same functions that we're about to describe on the DT switches, just switch them down to the DLs. So I'm going to go down. First off, I'm going to do DT1, and I'm going to set this to PM2 -B. And we're going to set the step value to 10. So what that's going to do is DT1 is going to adjust the mix value of program mix 2 in 10% increments. So this will give me, and I'm going to reverse that setting due to our values being negatives in the program mixes. So this will allow me to adjust my mixing on DT1 in 10% increments. So now for rear steer, we're going to go down and we're going to go over to DT3, and we're going to set this to channel 4. Channel 4 is where your rear steer servo should be. Channel 4. I'm going to set this up in 20-step increments. This allows you to move the wheels around, and 20% step isn't that large. It's a good amount of control. I found that it works just about best with supers. You can do 5 clicks pretty quick to get to full lock and bring it back just as quickly. We're going to turn DT2 off now. I just don't like to have any buttons on that can mess with anything, trim or anything like that while on course. So now you have your regular functions for throttle. You can adjust the motors down over here, and you can see this value changing as I click it. It says at 70%. As I pull the throttle, I only get 70% rear motor. And click it back up, and as I do so, value climbs back up. I'm 100%. Now my rear steer is operated off DT3 up here. As I click it, that represents what the rear tires would be doing. If you don't like the way that the button moves the tires, if you wanted to flip it, you can either go into the reverse menu and reverse channel 4 here, or you can go back to the dial menu, go down to DT3, and reverse it over here. Either one will do the same function. That's how I recommend to set up a super on your 4PK. If you guys have any tweaks you'd like to see on the setup, let me know, and I'll get them posted for you.